Hi, welcome to Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. Mr. Steve has been working. Mr. Steve has been working super hard on our driveway. We're doing a few changes around here. So I am going to take advantage of that and repair my wattle fence over here in the backyard. And what he's doing is he took down some fencing and he's clearing out between the fences because we had a chain link fence and then the wooden fence. And in between, we were getting a lot of things growing. So he decided to take it down and he's clearing it out. I'm taking advantage of that by repairing my wattle fence back here. But, it was just one of those things that was on our list of things to get done this fall. And I thought, I'm going to go ahead and get this part finished, this wattle fence. But then I thought I would take you around and show you things that I am going to try to accomplish this fall here on the little farm. Alright, so this is our front yard, and this is one of the biggest projects that I'm going to have for fall. So I want you to take a really good look at it and see all the stuff that I have growing and how I have it now. We have never really worked very much on the front yard. So take a good look at it, and then we'll talk about my plans for it. So this is what my plans look like for this front yard. I want to take out a couple of those bushes, big bushes, and plant an evergreen tree, one of those evergreens that kind of are flowy and really thin. And I can't remember the name of them. I'll put it in there. So I want to put that in the corner here and move the oak leaf hydrangea back a little bit because I know that's going to get big and it'll fill in this space. And then I'll move the little boxwood forward. So see how this had the kind of up, down, up. I want the same thing to kind of happen in this side. The up, the pine tree will be the up, and then the boxwood, and maybe the yew. Maybe I'll move the yew. I'm not sure. And then up, down, up. So it'll kind of match. They might not be the same trees, but at least it will kind of match the flow. And then I like the ground cover on this side, but this side I do not like that ground cover, so I'm going to dig up all of that ground cover. And maybe I'll move it. I'm not sure. And then on the side, I want to put a small wooden fence. So dig up all those bushes and put a little wooden fence so that I don't have to trim those bushes anymore. Even though I have some nice trimmers that I do enjoy using. But anyway, so it'll give it a much cleaner look and more polished. Then on that little wooden area where I have all those rocks, that area where the rocks are on this little thing, I I am not sure whether I want to dig up all the rocks and just put grass on there, because I know that hills like that are hard to mow. So maybe not. I'm not sure. But I do know I want to put a little, um, you know, you've seen those little book libraries that people have in front of their houses. Well, I want to put a little thing like that, but it's going to be a neighborhood share. So I can put produce or eggs or something in there, and if the neighbors are happen to walk by, they can just reach in and get it. And then, you know, or a craft, or they can exchange whatever they want in there, and people can just exchange. This is like a little neighborhood exchange. So I want to put that in the center, and then put some, I don't know, boxwoods or Cotonie ester. I heard that the Cotonie ester is something that is invasive or something, so we may not be able to use that, but maybe some boxwoods here just to have something, because I've struggled with that area for a long time, and that's kind of the plans for the front yard. This is my compost pile, and I've had this compost pile here for many years. We put some cedar blocks in front of it to keep it from spilling out because we've had so much compost, but that is my next project I want to talk about. If you have been following me for a while, you know that the compost bin is something that I struggle with, just because the older I get, the harder it is to maintain it. And you can see by the shape it's in right now that it's not in very good shape. But I do need to take it apart and rebuild. And unless I would really like to get a composter, a roller composter that's enclosed, that would be neater, but I'm not quite sure if that's going to happen in my future. If that doesn't happen in my future, and I can't find one that I like or can afford, I'm going to be redoing it, and I want to do it with 3 different sections, like compost should be. And I'm going to be using pallets to build this, and I'll be using hardware cloth to keep it contained in between the pallets. And then I can have different stages of compost going on at the same time. And I think that will help with the work as well, because right now I have all 3 stages of compost in the same area. So then I have to dig off the top to get to the bottom where it's already composted. If I have it like this, I think this will help my workload if I don't get a composter. But this is the plan for the fall. And once the weather starts getting cool, get more cool days like today in a row, then it's hard. It's good time. That will be a good time of year to be doing work like that, because that's heavy duty work and it's hard to do when it's hot outside. So that is slated for this fall. Our vegetable garden has gone through a big change this past spring with some additions to it, but there's always room to grow. So I was really happy with the way the garden came out this year. I had a lot of produce and it looked pretty, which was something that I was really working for, to get produce and to have it look nice, things I envisioned. And it worked out really well. And I'm very happy that my plans worked out. And now I have plans for the winter, for the fall winter garden. So, and it's pretty basic. I'm going to be moving the garlic. I usually plant the garlic here, but I'm going to move it to over here. I'm going to plant some sugar snap peas and some spinach. I'm going to thin out the strawberries and the coneflowers a little bit. And then, who knows what I'll plant here? Maybe some more beets. I don't know. Just fall and winter crops, which will be happening soon. It's August, so things are finishing up, and then we'll start all over again for our last crops for until winter. And of course, we'll still be growing the garlic, the strawberries, the berries will still be growing during the winter time, but everything else we'll put it to rest. We're going to be working a lot on our soil this fall as well, trying to revitalize it, because the garden works so hard all the time. And even though I find, a lot of worms and, a lot of life in the soil, I still feel like we could even nourish it a little bit more. So we'll be working a lot on the soil in the garden as well. The addition of our little greenhouse changed the look of this part of the garden, and I still have a few plans to make some changes. Well, Mr. Steve is busy working, so I have to do a voiceover for this. I do have some plans for this small area of the garden, and most of the plans are just downsizing some of the hostas, splitting them a little bit, and moving some of the plants in different areas. It's mostly just placement. I have everything in this area just about where I want it to be, but I do need to thin out the hostas and move some things around. So that is the plan for this area of the garden. I also have some ideas for the tea garden, some upgrades. Okay, so the tea garden has been going through some growing pains here. And I just had planted some new perennials in here 2 springs ago. And I'm finding that the placement just isn't quite right. So in the tea garden, we're going to be making some perennial changes and moving some of those perennials around. So I'll be moving some of the phlox to the back, because the phlox has been so tall that it's flopping over. And what I need to do is put some shorter plants in front of it to help kind of prop it up. Plus, that way they're not flopped over the other plants that are shorter and shading them out. So I need to do that. I need to move some of the irises and the daylilies to the front because they're shorter. Even though they grow, the flowering part is really tall, the green part is really low. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep the peonies the same and the planters the same because I really like that in the spring. So I have some movement happening in the tea garden this fall. Let's see, do I have the other area too? And you know, I just want to thin out and get rid of some of the weeds that are growing in here and just really clean it up really nice. And then on the other side of the tea garden as well. So, and then this other side that has the fountain, I'm not sure, I may move the fountain placement a little bit further down, closer to the butterfly bush, and then move some of the gladiolas to the front and the daylilies a little bit to the back, and then the phlox to the back because they're so tall. And then I had these lilies that just grew really straight and tall, which were really beautiful, but they're just singular things. So I need to dig them up, and probably what I will do is plant them in a grouping so that they can be together instead of just kind of like looking like a stick in the middle of everything. And then of course I need to weed some of this alyssum out because the alyssum grew so well that it has just overtaken everything. I mean, this is the time of year where the garden doesn't look its best, but it gives us room to think and plan for things to grow. So that is what I'll be doing in the tea garden. I have some plans for our sweet little barn that Mr. Steve built us as well. If you can see right here in front of the barn, we have some limestone. It's Indiana limestone, but it kind of goes down. And then when it rains, we get a lot of water right here in front of the barn. And when we get a lot of rain, I'm always worried that it's going to go over the threshold of the barn and leak into the barn. And what I would like to do, and I'm hoping that I can accomplish this, this is a big job, but what I want to do this fall is to take all of the limestone out. And let me see if I can find the picture. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Is that it? Okay. So in the front, I would like to have kind of like a little platform, concrete platform that goes all the way around the front door like this, and then maybe outline it with bricks and then use these stones somewhere else or something else. And this will be a big job. It's going to take a little bit of figuring out how I'm going to do it. But I want it to be big. I want it to be this big, maybe all the way out here, right here. I think it'll clean things up, and then because we can never grow any grass down here because of the rain, just doesn't grow. And plus, there's a lot of traffic always going in and out of the barn. I think that this would work out really well. So I think I really want to do this. This is the job that I want to do more than anything else. This one and the front yard. Wish me luck. Even my mini orchard will be getting some attention this fall. All right, it took me a little while to get this fence done, but I did it. And now I wanted to talk to you about this little mini orchard that I made here. I planted these trees about 2 years ago, and they're taking off really well, but this fall I will have to trim them back because they're kind of growing so well that they're growing every which way. And to keep them miniature trees, I want to make sure that I am pruning them like they should be. So we'll be doing that this fall, probably late fall. I still have to do more research and watch more videos on how I'll be doing that. But I will be taking care of the mini orchard this fall as well. Thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you all for your concern for Ledges. She seems to be doing fine. And as a matter of fact, I feel like her hair is starting to grow back. And it must have just been a heat thing. Anyway, I'm going to be talking to the vet. It's Sunday today, so I have to wait until they're open. But anyway, I'll keep you informed. Thank you so much for sharing your heart with us here on the Little Farm. Thank you so much for stopping by and visiting us here on Miss Annette's Little Farm in the big city. Try to get outside today if you can. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. And we'll see you next time. Bye. Love you so much.